Hi everyone, it's Bob from Greybeard Models and welcome back to the channel. So what are we up to? Right, well, if you've read the titles below, we're going to build another Stalwart. Now, the reason that we're going to build this one, not least because I actually enjoyed the first one, which if you haven't seen it, if you go back to my channel, you'll see. But mainly because I reach over. This arrived, and yeah, this is from Chris over at Inside the Armour, and he's kindly sent this over. It's another stack of parts. So without further ado, let's get over the bench and have a look. Right, first thing I must state before we go any further, I've bought all these parts from Chris over at ITA. The reason, you know, I'm not promoting his products for any other reason than I think they're good. So the first part that's turned up, I don't know whether I'll take this out of the way because I'm trying to get. All right. So this is a good set. This replaces the windows on the Stalwart. Now the other one that which is actually down in the display case, the original parts on the windows, the windscreen wipers are really not quite right. So this set now replaces the windows. You've got an acetate cutouts there, and in this little box here you've got 3D printed windscreen wipers. So that's the first thing. The next thing that came out in the pack was the exhaust shield mesh. These are available separately on his website as well now, so if that's all you want, you can order those from him. This is the mask set. I got another mask set, mainly because after I built this one, I've got another one. Anyway, the mask set was in there. Another in this box here. This is the replacement grills or grating for the top of the cab in the kit. So that's really useful. It's going to be interesting to change those out. The next little playpen has got replacement for the internal parts of the cab. So you've got replacement radios, you've got improved design of the controls for the water thing. I never can remember what that's called. Water propulsion unit. And also there's new parts for the control panel or instrument panel, and the parts at the side of the instrument panel that are rather clunky and chunky on the Airfix kit. But there's parts there. The levers for the water propulsion unit, I got it right there, and the controls and the levers. The arms are missing in the kit. The arms are missing that go from the propulsion unit controls through to activating it. So that's that. The other, what's that? Bit cardboard. Right. The other thing I got from him is this. This is the replacement roof. And that actually does come with new gratings as well, but this is the replacement roof, and it's got far better detail on it, and also the fact that the bit at the back where the grating is separate, because the grating parts are separate. So that's one lot. I'll put all this back in here because I don't want to lose it. I love the way these are presented in these. I call them playpens. They remind me of, you know, what kids had when they were little. They're not so little now. Right, so put all those back in there. And that goes in there. It's a great way of storing these parts so you don't damage them while you're playing around with them like this. So we'll get, and the second box is pretty much the same. That's because I've got another Stalwart to build. So right, starting off on this new build, so I've got the 3 parts out, which is the 1, 2, 3 to get prepared. And while I was doing this, I looked at the 3D printed parts for replacement of C58 and C59, and it was a comment that actually my brother had made to me about taking things off of these plates. And I think what I'll do is let's move this out of the way. Don't want to confuse the issue. So these parts here are in the middle of this cluster of parts. So what I've done is I've actually taken these parts off, and the reason is that you can't get in there, and you've got to work your way into, you've got to work your way into the part that you want, if you like. And to be honest, Inside the Armour's boxes, these little storage boxes are great, because when you cut the part off, you can actually store it in these boxes, and they stay safe, or relatively safe. If you really want to sort of protect them, you can put a bit of foam in there or a little bit of bubble wrap, and that will protect the parts inside these little boxes. Anyway, the other thing that I wanted to sort of have a look at was taking the parts off of here. Now, if you use your Tamiya cutters, these are the angle of the cut on these blades is too pronounced. It's too chunky. Is the word. And I don't like using these on these 3D printed parts. They're great on plastic, on sprues, but on here you've got to be have a little bit more finesse. So instead of using the Tamiya ones, what I use are these ones. These are by a company called ProTech Modeling Tools. I got these from Dave Coley Emporium, and the reason I like these is because the profile of the jaws are far better, and they're thinner jaws. If you look at the jaws, there's a pronounced difference with those points there, and you can actually get right in close with your 3D printed parts. And it's a really easier thing to do. So let's just I'm gonna have to put my optimizer on so that I can see what the hell I'm doing. I mean, I can see it on the camera, but I can't see what I'm doing here. So what I tend to do is get in really tight and just take a little nibble at a time to get a part released, and be very careful. There's no rush. And what I tend to do is just take the outside ones, move along here around the bottom. I hope that's sort of clear to you, and get in very carefully and just take one snip at a time, but just be very careful. Now once you've got one of the sort of, I don't know what these things are called, whether they're the supports or what they are in terms of 3D printing descriptions, but then go in the next row and move along the next row. And that one's all lifted straight off, so that's quite cool, because it saved a lot of work. But that's the way to do it. Is just take it time at a time, and a small part at a time. These other pieces, if they're in the way, because you've sort of taken that part off, you can just snip them away, and they'll give you better access along to get the next part out. So the next part is this one. God, I had to stop there and scratch my nose. So yeah, just do the next one. So nice gentle cuts. Don't go at it. You know, it's not like you're cutting through great big chunks. Just take your time and take little sort of nips at a time, and you can get in there and get that part out, and then see some of those are in the way. So and then that one, and that's got rid of that bit, and then get rid of that one, and get rid of that one, and gradually work your way around. So that and that, and it's starting to lift, you see. But it's just really being careful with your snips, and there you go, that one's come off. And again, you've left all these little nubs and things left, and they can be cleaned away, and then that in itself gives you better access to these other parts that are sitting there that you may want to save on this plate for the moment. I mean, looking at this, the next things that I probably want to get off are going to be the headlight shields there. I think call them shields, but whatever. These are various aerial or antenna mounts, so I've got to decide which one of those I'm going to use. I might use that one in the middle of there, mainly because it's in the awkward place. And of course, you've got your cab hatches there, which are great, and some fire extinguishers. So all good stuff. So now we've got those parts off there and there, we'll go on back to the other stuff and start putting things together. Okay, so gone to the first part of the 3D resins, which is I don't know what you call these, the sort of, I don't know, they're like shoots, aren't they, like sort of thing. So the Airfix parts are these, and they've got little grooves along them there, whereas Inside the Armour 3D printing, and you've got proper grooves that you can actually see through there, which I think gives you a better effect than these. So that's those fitted, and I'm just looking at the next parts of the build, and there's a fair bit to go before we do the next 3D printed stuff. So I think this is possibly a point in which we can stop. I'll get on with these sorts of things, and the next stage I get to, I'll come back to you with some more of the build. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that was interesting to you. I know it's only, you know, a couple of parts that are on, but we've done the major underside of the hull now, and I'll see you on the next video, and bye for now.